Welcome to Tech at Lunch, the podcast that satisfies your hunger for all things tech while you enjoy your midday meal. So grab your sandwich, tune in, and let's dig in. Hello, Nick.
I'm Tim.
And, we're actually coming to you, first I want to actually apologize for kind of missing the last 2 weeks. The guys have been kind of busy. But, with some personal things and, school and everything like that. And, so what we're doing today is, bringing to you actually from, the gorgeous city of Las Vegas. We are actually here, you heard Tim in the intro. We're here in Las Vegas. We're here for the SEMA show. And, every time we go to one of these big events, Rapid, Automate, we always do a day one, always. And it's really to kind of get the jive for the week, kind of see where we're at, kind of see, how we're feeling. Which, if you've ever been out to SEMA show, you understand that, it's a rush. It is one of those things that doesn't go bad. Believe me, I'm probably, wearing probably probably the world's best smell known as Tire Rubber. I think we all are at this point.
Yeah.
But, really the one, and us, we like to look at the STEM side of the house. We also kind of want to look at the engineering side. Man, we like to have a little bit of fun with it too. So, we're going to go through this. Let us know what you think. And we want to know, if you all listen to this, make a comment if there's a booth you want us to get in touch with. And maybe we can get them on the podcast. We have a couple guys that we're actually talking to from SEMA that we do want to get them on the podcast with us. But we'll hope to get to that. I really do hope so. But enough jabbering about that. Get to the stuff that y'all are tuned in for, instead of just me talking. Done enough of those, and I don't think y'all enjoy that. Believe me, I don't even enjoy hearing myself talk. But, it's kind of how that goes. Now, this is where I want to go with this. This is your first time with us doing an episode kind of like this and joking around and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, your first SEMA show, my first SEMA show. What is your overall impression of the actual show itself?
The show's amazing because it's got a lot of information, a lot of great ideas out there, and a lot of ways we can bring it back to the kids, especially with STEM.
Yeah. Now, the thing is for me, the environment is absolutely awesome. I love going to shows where there's like-minded people. We're and this entire thing is full of like-minded folks. Yeah, at least I think they are. And we've noticed that kind of talking the conversations with some of the vendors talking about, or the exhibitors. Sorry, not vendors. The exhibitors talking about STEM education, stuff like that. So for me, my overall impression, for one, I love how they're doing buses and doing bus routes out to the convention center. They are setting up for F1 here in Las Vegas. So that's kind of an interesting event. Kind of a pain in the neck, too, if you try to drive through. But, for me, the show is awesome. Every building, every parking lot is full of just really cool engineering. Really cool builds. And it's a lot of inspiration. And, kind of like what Tim put in there. It's something that we can bring back to kids. It's STEM. It's getting these people interested in it. And, the thing is everybody we've talked to, we've said, hey, guess what? We want to make sure we can bring STEM back. We want to make sure that the next generation is coming in and wanting to build cars. They're wanting to get involved in the automotive aftermarket. They're wanting to get involved in additive manufacturing, 3D printing, someone the same, robotics of some sort, CAD, CAM, CNC, and the fun stuff that they got going on these days. So it's for me, the entire show. If you've never been out here and you work in the automotive aftermarket, it is worth it if you have a chance to come out here. Now, the one thing we kind of, the one thing I want to go over is how'd you like the layout?
Layout's good. It breaks it up a lot because it makes it easier for us to find what we need. But it is a lot to take in.
Okay, how so?
Just in the tire area, you got tires of any type you want
Mm-hmm.
from every manufacturer around the world. Plus, you've got all the rims,
Yeah.
every tool you need for tires, all right there. So you have a lot of stuff thrown at you right up front.
And just think we probably hit a quarter of it.
Maybe.
Max today.
I don't even think we hit that.
We're here till Friday. Will we make? Yeah, hopefully our feet and backs make it through the show.
Yeah,
But-
because that's going to be a hard one.
Yeah. Now the thing is, if you think about it, like for me, I think the layout is absolutely awesome. How they have it broken up into different buildings. SEMA does a great job laying these shows out. For what I've noticed, and it also goes in the communities or not communities, the their internal organizations. They have like ETTN, FLN, the Future Leaders Network, the Emerging Tech Trends Network, ARO, and stuff like that. They're different committees, subcommittees within SEMA that all work together to bring together the SEMA show. And they bring in some of the best vendors probably on the planet. I'll say this: yes, walking through tires is mind-boggling. I'm not a tire guy. I'll tell you that.
I am because I look at it from aspects of road racing.
But please do that on closed course.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is I've never really been one, and until we really start getting through and start talking to some of these people, and we're going to talk about actually one of the wheel manufacturers probably here in a little bit, and kind of go into what they're doing and stuff that they're really passionate about. But the flow, the drive, the fact that they have maps for damn near everything is amazing. They know where everything's at, which is duh. But what's even funnier is they know where everything is outside, which is weirder. You might not know where every single car is, or you probably should, but
I have an idea.
You got a general location. And for me, it's also fun when you can go from one area to another area to another area to another area, and kind of see something different. We go from seeing tires to pure freaking power hot rods to hot rod performance parts, and some ridiculous builds. Again, bringing inspiration to to what we do. And then you kind of walk outside, and it's horsepower on display.
Yeah.
And that type of stuff is what makes it worth it. What makes people kind of say, hey, guess what? They want to be part of this. They want to be part of engineering, part of this. We've seen a lot of people talk about it. Talked to a lot of people that they talked about the CAD cam stuff.
Yeah, they did.
And they brought it up and said, hey, guess what? We want to see this. We want to see what kids get involved in. So for me, walking through the shows, you kind of see a little bit of everything. You kind of see what you're kind of looking for. So it's one of those things. Now, when we start really getting into the nitty gritty, we start really talking about, kind of what makes the show tick. And that's kind of an interesting topic. Is what makes SEMA tick.
See, yeah. Because it started with all the modifications of all these cars. And knowing that it was a lot of kids and younger people that started in this, and that group's starting to age, now in our group, not everyone got into it.
Yep.
Now we got to get the younger kids back involved because it's going to make it easier for the kids to learn. Plus, it's a lot that they need to know.
Right. And, definitely seeing what people are putting into it.
Right.
Yeah, you got the older generation putting stuff in. You do have a little bit of the newer generation throwing their wits in there. It's more or less instant gratification cars. You do see a lot of full custom, flat out builds by some of the top companies on the planet. And yes, you heard that instant gratification thing. It's what that means. It's a car that's already built for you that you can buy off the showroom floor. I get it. Some people love that type of stuff. Me, I'd rather see people build their own car. However, if that is you, do you, boo-boo. You're driving something cool. You're having fun with it. You enjoy the drive. Be you.
Yeah.
That's one thing we want to push is, we're not going to push anybody to do a big giant build. If you want to do a big giant build, hey, more power to you. Send us pictures. If you have a big giant build, send us pictures. That's how this works.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be able to do a build ourselves, and we'll be able to throw it on YouTube. Or make a couple blog posts about it and stuff like that. Kind of really dive into the engineering side of the house. You have heard about that possibility coming up, in earlier episodes before we came out to SEMA about possibly bringing in a vehicle for the channel, for not just for the channel but for the company to do a build to support what is going on out here in SEMA. And it is one of those things where we kind of talk about, you have 160,000 people this year,
At least.
somewhere in the neighborhood. At least that's what was last year's ticket. They said is 160,000. And like tonight we did industry night. We had Ore playing. We had Goo Goo Dolls. We had
Rainwolf.
And then intermission couldn't be any better. You had the guys from RTR. RTR Drift Team. Von Griffin Jr. and his guys. You've got Optima batteries, Optima D running out there. You have Von Griffin Jr.'s new Bronco team with Lauren behind the wheel. He was doing an insane job, 4-wheel drive. He's one king of the hammers. Dude's insane. You can't get any more fun and more industry related than your intermission between sets on a concert is drift cars.
Yeah, because that made it all worth it right there. Because, and people don't realize the engineering that goes into those drift cars.
Yeah. And
you got to think the ambers, the angles, the cambers, the toes, what you need to make it slide those corners and break free.
Yeah.
It's not just the power anymore.
Mm. And, the thing is we're seeing more and more people build drift cars. We're seeing more and more companies dive into the drift car space because drifting is now becoming an actual mainstream motorsport.
Yeah.
We also did see Nitro Circus perform a little bit, which if you ever get to see Nitro Circus, it is definitely worth the time and the energy to go see those guys. Seeing them do backflips off of 450s is absolutely insane.
It is.
Now, the thing is we all and one thing I want to get into is what did you not like about the show so far? We're gonna start with not, and then we're gonna go into what do we do like because that's gonna take longer.
What I didn't like, having too many cameras.
Okay, that's a personal issue.
Yeah, no, what I didn't really have an issue with the show because it was laid out great. It made it easy to find everything. The entertainment, getting to see everything, talk to everyone, actually getting to listen, see what's out there.
Yeah. I think for me, when you start getting into not liking, I think it's a lot of your personal choice.
Yeah.
Like you said, too many cameras brought too much shit. You can tell, when it comes down to because some conventions, who the first timers are. Me, I learned a long time ago to spare down as much as you can. For me, it's probably shoe choice. Because for some strange reason, I don't know what, but out of all the shows I've been to, this one isn't this one does not have anywhere close to the floor padding. Any other shows have. It's pretty flat. So sometimes, set design, booth design, really has a lot to do with it. It's not a lot of padding under the carpet, but that's nitpicking. Honestly, just flat up nitpicking. But the show itself is absolutely awesome. I don't think they did a bad job. I don't think they did. They freaking, you couldn't get any better. Now I will gripe about this though. There is to be a slight gripe, and that is not on them. I'll say that. It's on the transportation company.
Yeah.
The gripe is, if you know that there's industry night going on until 9 p.m. and you stop running the buses that are supposed to take people back to their hotels
at
6:30, there's a problem. Stretch them out until that night is over. Friday is going to be SEMA Fest. If you're coming to SEMA Fest, please let us know you're here. But the thing is I think they're stretching those out a little bit longer, because the monorail system here in Vegas is nice. It really is. It's a nice addition. However, the ticketing of type of system they're using is ridiculous. It's not very. It's kind of redundant. We had to buy the same ticket twice. Well, technically, with three different purchases.
Yeah.
And then, because the one ticket decided it didn't like itself, the other one worked fine, and the third one finally got us onto everybody on the train. I guess that's how it goes. We weren't the only people having that same problem. So it's not on on SEMA Show itself. Love it. I think SEMA Show did a great job. I don't see an issue with them. It's all personal preference type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we get into the transportation stuff, and that's usually where the problem was. And yes, again, that's a personal gripe. We could have drove. We could have found parking and drove over and
dealt with it
and did our own thing. But hey, we chose we laid in our we grabbed our rifle and we died by it.
Yep.
Fell on our sword. But now we get into the fun stuff. Now we kind of get to the point where everybody kind of wants to talk about certain things. Everybody sees something different. Everybody kind of believes something different. What was some of your key takeaways from today?
One of the big key takeaways is seeing a lot of the new innovations with the rim designs and the actual wheel material and makeup, because that plays a large part into a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because you buy a cheap rim that's not built right, and you're going to have problems.
Makes sense.
Because you got to look at, people don't think about the engineering in that rim.
Right.
Because you can use a lightweight material and make a great rim.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got to be built right.
Right. Makes sense.
Because otherwise you're going to twist it right out of the lugs.
Yeah. I can see that.
I've seen it happen when they use a universal pattern on it. I've watched it break the metal in between the studs.
Yeah. We've all sheared studs. That's.
It didn't shear the studs. It actually ripped the center of the rim out.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that. You see that in mud trucks.
You don't see it as much in race cars, but
yeah, I've seen them in mud trucks. We've definitely blown those before in mud trucks before.
But the rims, they're doing great.
when it comes down to that type of stuff, I really have to give it to the company that we talked to earlier, OEW. OEW is a family of three different three different wheel brands, rim brands. Sorry, they're not wheels, whatever.
Yeah, it's all
welcome to the wheel of Steelies. But OEW, they put some serious quality control in these things. Their machining practices and stuff like that these wheels are absolutely gorgeous. Y'all go take a look at them. They do the 4-play rims. They also do Drift NT.
Drift NT and
Def NT and OE wheels. That's them.
I do like their OE wheels.
Their OE wheels are really nice. And the thing is I like the finishes, to be honest with you. But I also like how the fact that they're not going to hide anything.
No.
And we're really going to be talking to this company later. But the thing is how they give you the wheel run out.
Yeah.
So the wheels are round when you get them and stuff like that. Their attention to quality is pretty much above reproach. At least for a company of their size.
Yeah, because they're 50 people.
Yeah, roughly 50. Out of Sarasota, and then an office out of Texas. Absolutely, insane. I think they really did a good job on that. They really hit that out of the park. It's like I'm gonna, probably not going to my favorite part just yet. Because there's definitely certain parts, but there's that. There's also the times of the fact that I got to see some of the builds of that I've been watching on social media come to life.
Right.
I've watched these builds forwards, backwards, front, back, and Mad Mike Labs out of New Zealand built the
McLaren with
the rotary, yep, the drift McLaren, and it is absolutely more insane than he showed it off to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
I watched that entire build series. I mean, front to back, back to front. I watched that entire build series because what they do is absolutely awesome. They took the entire thing out, rebuilt the thing. They had their own problems with it, and can compete with it. And being able to see it in person, today, is absolutely insane. There is a couple, I guess you could say, OEM stuff going on. So when we start talking, because there wasn't all aftermarket, there mostly was, but I think they were pretty much prepping for it. When it comes down to OEM type of stuff,
right?
What did you find interesting in the OEM side of the house? Which OEM I'm talking, major manufacturer?
I love the Dodge setup.
Mm-hmm.
Their trucks that they had out there.
Yep.
Even their new e-truck, it looks just like the regular truck.
Yeah. The Rev.
The Rev, but it's not like Ford did with the Lightning.
Yeah, Meta Goober.
You actually had a good-looking truck, and it looks like it's going to do well.
Yep.
Now, their new Challenger, I want to see that actually out on the road.
Yeah. That's the production model.
Because that one right there looked great.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how it had actual 4 seats in it, and you could go all the way through.
Yeah.
So, it's probably going to be a great OE.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was one other build that we saw at another vendor, which was AC Motors.
Yep, I'm going to get on that one too.
They unveiled a new car.
From AC Cars.
It is one of the old pre-Shelby ACs.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it all electric. But they also have a gas version coming. To see something classic like that come back is amazing. Especially out of an OEM.
Mm-hmm. For me, when it comes to OEM stuff, like I've said before, I'm not a very big OEM fan.
No.
Because everything is so single-sided and downright fugly on occasion. However, if you know me, you know I'm a big Dodge fan. I believe that if you gave SRT the availability, they put a Hellcat in a minivan.
Probably would.
I'm serious. I think those dudes would try it. And you know why? Those people are freaking awesome. They're the guys who came up with a Viper. Why? Because they figured that was a good thing to do. And that's also where we get the ACS, the ACR, and stuff like that. So now, we have some stuff in the past. But, now people are taking the motors from those cars and putting them in Miatas. So, but for me, I'm a big fan of the Dodge booth that they had out there. Because, I've been kind of interested to see the Rev. I've seen it come up, and it actually meets expectations. It really does. The Challenger being 4 captain's chairs, front and back, 2 front, 2 rear, is interesting because it has center lock wheels. It doesn't look like your traditional Challenger,
No.
per se. However, the fact that Dodge is offering 4 power packs for that car is absolutely insane. You're going to buy 1 pack, and then you go to your dealer and have them unlock the rest of them.
Yep.
And also, it was, I really thought that the new HO, for that is going to be the TRX replacement, is, absolutely, it's insane. It looks cool. And it kind of lives up to that. Now, I'm a sucker for baby blue. And Toyota, was it Toyota? No, it was Nissan.
Yeah.
Nissan did a really good partnership with Petty Enterprises. Petty Blue is,
No, that was Toyota.
That was Toyota?
That was the Supra.
Okay, I thought it was Nissan.
No, that was the Supra.
All right, no. But, the thing is, the conjunction with Petty Enterprises and Richard Petty Enterprises is something for me that goes a long way because, I'm a big Richard Petty fan. And seeing some of the people there who, are kind of instrumental in horsepower. Don Garlitz was out there today. Got to see where he was at. And some of the other guys, bringing in their stuff. But, the one thing I was kind of also interested in, it's a company called Staga. Staga is out of Chino Chino, California. Yeah, Staga Motorsports. They do a lot of CAD CAM, 3D scanning, and stuff like that. They are really in on the advanced manufacturing side of the house. They do a lot of that. A bunch of great group of guys. If you go talk to them, they understand what CAD CAM is. They understand what 3D printing is. They also understand that this is how how we're supposed to build a car these days. The days of paying body guys is gone. You can just scan it and go from there. We're not really not stop paying body guys. You never stop paying a body guy. You'll know that. As much as you want to, you'll never will. So it reduces your trips to the body shop because the thing is the design and initial design is always going to change. So having less trips means you save money. You don't want that person. You don't want your body guy unless they're friends of yours to end up on your Christmas card list. They don't really belong there. They do if you like them, and if they do a really good job, if they build you a car that you get to hear, the SEMA.
That's one thing.
They need to be on your Christmas card list. Same thing with your engineering firms. But now we're kind of going to get into kind of what is your favorite thing that you kind of ran across today?
My favorite is a lot of the custom builds
Mhm.
because that's my world. I've always enjoyed all the custom builds. It didn't matter if it was an import, a domestic. I always loved watching the builds, building them myself. I've built both imports and domestics. And then actually getting to see the drift cars doing what they do best. Because just thinking about the engineering that goes behind that,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the engines, the drive lines, all the cambers that have to go into this, you never really look at it until you sit down and look at the engineering behind it
Yeah.
and try to build one.
For me, I think, probably the favorite part, for me of day one, something that I kind of ran across is, the drift cars, they're fun to watch. It's a controlled slide. And it's very talented drivers, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Some of the best in the world. But one of the other things is like you touched on the AC cars build, and that to me, having the conversations with the AC team, and like I probably sat there and had about a 20-minute conversation.
30.
Well, yeah, maybe a 30-minute conversation with one of the engineers that was part of from the AC team. Had a really good conversation with him. Out of England. So we kind of talked about how that car was built, how it started out in the old way of building cars, how it started out doing things by hand, and
one-to-one.
and building them out and understanding, how these things worked. And then they went into the 3D scanning, 3D printing, and all of the other stuff that, kind of makes new car engineering happen.
Yeah.
But on top of that, they were probably with one of now probably one of the most diverse companies on the market, and got to be one of my favorite companies on the market is Tremec. I'm a Dodge guy, so of course we have Tremec 6 speeds and all the Dodges. You grew up with a Tremec, yeah. So for me, it's that booth was probably downright my favorite. However, we went to the Tremec indoor booth, and that's where the AC guys were at. That is now Tremec Electrified GT.
Yes.
That is Tremec's new electric side of the house. They have drop-in ready EV systems that are ready to go inside these cars, and that's what they use to build the AC car. Like they have right now, they have one of the driveline sets that fit inside your transmission tunnel. So you can run it with a regular rear end. You don't have to run a special rear end. You have to run all that, none of the fun stuff. You can leave your engine bay open, throw your batteries up there, and then, power everything from the front to the back to the front. The thing is Tremec did such a good job with, all this process. I think it was a recent acquisition of the team that developed this technology. But the packaging is awesome.
It really is, because it made it look good, functional, and it's easy to fit in most cars.
Yeah. For me, if I had to pick one thing that I'm going to take away, from today, it's going to be the AC car, the Cobra. Or Shelby Cobra's the Shelby Cobra grandfather,
Right.
the original Cobra, the regular AC car. And you can go take a look at them on their website. I think it's well, no, I don't think it is. It's accars.eu. They are a European manufacturer. They're in the United Kingdom. So reach. So if anything, take a look at them. Reach out to them. And take a look at the products that they're pushing out in front of you. We've kind of on some of our social media stuff, we've kind of tagged them on a few things, just so they could see it. Great group of guys. Great group of engineers, I should say. Guys, gals. And then, of course, partnered with the Tremec guys. Can't get much better than that. It's kind of I would say it's a match made in heaven for the two of them. But they are going to make not just so everybody gets, the panties in the wad about the AC car. They will have a gas variant of the AC car coming out as well. It will not just be electric. It's they'll have the GT variant, the GT car coming out too. So that type of stuff. It's not going to be just one hit it and quit it type of thing. There's be a very limited run made. Go take a look at them. Get involved with them. They are great. Now, the thing is the show itself is kind of set up in a way of where you can't do everything in one day.
There's no way to.
If you tried and you were able to, good Lord. If you tell me that, I can do it whenever you want. It is a industry-only trade show. So if you can do it in one day, more power to you. However, I don't think that is plausible. So you have to find the small things. You have to find the things that you like, you want to see, you want to get involved in, and have the conversations. Right now, I'm saying, and I'll tell you this, if it's not the AC stuff, it is literally the conversations I've had with people at the show. Like I said earlier, it is a bunch of group like-minded people. When you tell somebody that, hey, I want to get students, interested in STEM education, to possibly get them into STEM careers, building cars, involved in the automotive aftermarket, so they can take over whenever we decide to depart the career field or the organization. Right. And everybody's behind that. Everybody wants to see that happen. Everybody wants to see STEM grow at all levels. Mind you, that be from elementary or all the way through trade school.
Right.
And, the growth of the trade schools, growth of some of those things. They want to see that happen.
Because I know they've lost a lot of the trade schools.
Yep.
Especially when you're in high school.
Yeah.
They need to bring a lot of that back, which is all still part of STEM.
Mm-hmm. I grew up with auto tech in my school. And I've heard there is some schools that get away with it. I don't agree with it. I really don't.
No.
And it's like, shop being taken at classes, out of schools.
They took that out of a while back.
Mine still had it. They lost 4-H. They lost the ability for people to learn how to fix these cars.
Right.
Or fix the tractors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're not telling you that, hey, we're going to go bring you in a 1940s Ferrari or a Lamborghini tractor. Yeah, if you know anything about Lamborghini, you know that they started making tractors first. Congratulations. If you didn't know that, well, guess what? Now you do. Sorry. That's how it works.
Hey, it's all good knowledge.
So, it is what it is. And so my thing is what are you trying to accomplish? And, over the next 3 days?
I want to see where this industry's going. Hmm? Because, like you said, when we all decide to retire, get out of it, it's going to die down.
Yeah.
And if we don't start bringing kids back into this won't be around.
Right.
it won't be the actual gratification for building something that you put your hands on and actually know what you did to it. Because I've seen kids nowadays that can't even change a tire.
Yeah.
Because they were never taught. Can't change their own oil.
Yep, seen that.
So it still goes back to the STEM because it's part of the trade schools. Without that, this industry is going to die.
Right.
Because we've lost a lot of good mechanics.
We have.
And people are like, well, that's not STEM. Yes, it is, because you're still using a lot.
Well, it's engineering, so, yeah.
It's the engineering. It's also, now you're having to use a lot of technology in it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many computers in these cars.
More than we'd like to admit.
Yeah, I know. Because damn near everything's controlled by it.
Yeah. This is why you rip it all out and you start over.
Yeah.
You know, for me, you know, I'm kind of like you. I want to see how it goes. You know, where the industry's headed, especially when it comes down to STEM education and their want and desire to, you know, kind of, you know, get things kind of, you know, cranking. And, you know, I really think, you know, that as we kind of, you know, move forward and stuff like that, we're really going to see the want and desire of everything to move. You know, how are we going to go? How are we going to move forward? Am I saying that, you know, I want, you know, every, you know, kid to learn how to, you know, fix a car?
No.
Or build a car? No, I don't care. You know, at least do basic mechanical. And change your own oil, you know, fix a tire. Have a little bit of fun with it. But the one thing is if you get in the aftermarket, if you get in the automotive world, you know, I want to see how we kind of move things forward with also design. You know, we start getting into CAD, we start getting into CAM, we start getting into CNC, and that type of stuff. You know, not everybody has to be building the car.
No.
You know, if you say that, hey, guess what? I don't have the ability to build a car. Okay, that's fine. Can you design one? Can you come up with an idea?
And that's
of that
all it
car?
starts.
Then go for it. If you have now, here's the other way of doing this. If you have the money to pay somebody to build the car for you, as long as you have the drive and the dream and the direction, then hey, you know, that counts. That's getting involved. You know, because you know there's no good time to drive boring cars. But you know, says a person who drives a diesel. But you know, the thing
Still
is,
not a boring car.
you know, is for me, it's I want to see how they're pushing the STEM envelope, how they're really pushing the want and desires of getting people involved in this type of stuff, and you know, having more of those conversations. You know, really enjoying the conversations with people. You know, I probably enjoy the conversations more sometimes than I do the cars. But the thing is, you can't have one without the other because the car always starts the conversation, and it's just how it goes. You know, and if you don't know what you're looking at, ask questions, and then learn something. You know, it's like we have a saying through this entire podcast is you know in that you know we follow learn something new every day, and shows like SEMA, Rapid, Automate, South Tech, West Tech, East Tech. Through the SME guys, you're always going to be learning something new. You're going to take that chance. You know, pop onto YouTube and don't watch CAD videos. Watch something that's going to teach you something. Go out and get a membership to like Masterclass or other organizations that are going to teach you something. Or just listen to a couple of our old episodes. Shameless plug. And we will be bringing out more of that content to you, on other, topics. So I'm sure, it's not going to be the first time, last time, or whatever we're going to talk about this. we you may hear, this conversation happen again. Talk about day 2, day 3, and whatever as we go through the week. But they'll be spread out over a couple weeks, stuff like that. And then we will be having some videos coming out. Speaking of the AC car, I'm hoping to get it out tonight. Maybe get it out tonight, which will be last night, which will be this morning for y'all. Funny other word. Is the reveal video of the AC car. We're hoping to get that out. We know it's out. We know that AC themselves has released a video. We know Trimick released a video. Trimick went live with the reveal, and was able to show the vehicle being released live. So we're not going to be spilling any information that shouldn't be released to the general public. So with that, we want to have a little bit of fun with it at least. So I don't want to run too long on this one. However, it is what it is. So it's like I'm going to ask you, kind of a question here.
Okay.
Is if there is a couple things, or a statement, or whatever, that you wanted to make to people wanting to get into this industry, to enjoy, well, not really enjoy. I don't know if, you don't want to make SEMA be the pinnacle of your career.
No.
But, to get into this industry, to really get involved in it, what would it be?
Go out. Have fun with the cars. Look at them. I've always looked at them. I guess I was lucky because I grew up with it. My grandfather was an engineer for GM. So I grew up knowing what these cars were. And I would always tell someone, you want to know what they are, ask. Because there is no dumb question. The only dumb question is the one you never ask. Because you're never going to know what's out there. And I've always thought of cars getting something out there that people enjoy looking at. Because I know there's a lot of people that go, I like the Ferraris or the Lamborghinis. And then they start looking at all the custom cars. And it puts a lot of detail into what work's actually been done. So my big thing is go out there and enjoy the cars. Enjoy the beauty of them.
From my side, it's, get out there and do it. It's, get out, have a little bit of fun. Go to a Cars and Coffee. Talk to the people who built their car.
Yeah.
Have those conversations.
Talk to the ones that restore them.
Get a, that too. You can download Fusion 360. It's free to everybody. Go out and play with it. Learn learn some CAD. Learn that type of stuff. Build car parts that you think you may need. However, there's also another option to this. Go talk to Trax.
Traxxas.
Traxxas, the remote control car company. Go talk to them. Because they have packages, cars, frame setups, stuff like that you can get and actually learn the engineering behind these vehicles. Because what they're putting into a remote control car is pretty much what people are putting into a car that they would run on the street. And the thing is, take a look at those, because I think that getting one and sharing the fun of tinkering with it with your kids, if you're an adult, Now you get a 35 mile an hour or a 100 mile an hour or a drift car, um, radio controlled car, and you get to teach your kids how caster and camber works, how certain drag or how certain spring rates work, how to get the best performance out of these things, how to do what they do best, how to customize them, and if you have a 3D printer, how do you build parts for these things? How do you build bodies and stuff like that and shape a vehicle to do what you want it to do? So definitely reach out to them, go on their website, take a look what they got. We definitely want everybody to learn something, so we want everybody to do it the most affordable, the most effective way possible. Don't be afraid to go look at some of the old classic cars that are out there. There's a lot of TV shows and stuff like that out there available for people to kind of learn and to tinker. Find something you like. Yeah. Tinker with it. If you have other things, then kind of go with that. So from my side, as we close this thing out, I don't want to go too much over an hour. We're coming up on it now. I just want to say thank you to everybody listening in. We're over the 3,000 listener mark right now, well into it, and it's global. So I really do appreciate that. You're going to be seeing a lot more come out on the... we changed the name of the YouTube channel, Vulcan Art Attack. So go take a look at that. You'll see some stuff pop there. You'll also see a lot of stuff kind of, start coming out over Instagram and Facebook over the next couple weeks, next week or so. Go take a look. I'm sure Tim will plug his stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Go take a look at the blog, Vulcan Art 3D. And, Printed Heritage, if you guys would like, lithophanes done or anything like that. Hopefully, we got some pictures of this week. We'll have some stuff that, is ready to go out to these guys, for them to see. We already got the files ready, or we'll have our files ready here soon. But, like I've said many, many times, go out and learn something. Have some fun with it. I'm sorry about the siren. I can't help it. Again, we're in Vegas. It's probably medical. Somebody probably got drunk. But the thing is I'll deal with that later.
It was medical.
Yeah, well. Either someone that got drunk or OD'd, but the thing is enjoy what you do. Enjoy the process. Learn something. Have fun with it. And really kind of, wrap your mind around things. Before I turn it over to Tim for his final parting words, I do want to say this. I kind of challenge y'all to, go out, find an engineering project you enjoy. Look into how it's done, kind of do some research into it. Have fun with it. Kind of really, figure out what makes it do what it does. Find a car that you like and really kind of dig into it and kind of see if, that's kind of something you want to pursue. Not everybody's going to pursue it. We know that. We don't mind if people pursue other avenues. Robotics and whatnot. Hopefully we'll get some stuff going with the Cobot company here soon. We'll have some of their guys on talking about Cobots. But, the thing is like I said, the challenge that I set up before you is, go out, learn something, find something new. And, leave a comment on our stuff and let us know kind of what you're thinking. What did you find interesting? What did you find that kind of inspires you to, work through STEM? What kind of inspires you to want to get your kids involved in STEM education or STEM careers or some sort of manufacturing as far as, custom parts and stuff like that? Or, what kind of, gets you involved in the technology side of the house? We definitely be interested in hearing that. So, with that, I turn you over to Tim.
It was great talking with y'all because I enjoy all this, and this is something I look forward to seeing kids learn. Hopefully you and your kids can figure out something you like to do together. And I will say the Traxxas cars are a great way to learn. I've got some I still play with. It all depends on what I want to run them as. I've got some that are for off-road. I've got some that are for speed. I've even taken my full-size car and went against the 100-mile-an-hour Traxxas. That was an interesting, because that Traxxas won. Because it's faster off the line. But enjoy learning and being able to help your kids learn something with engineering or STEM, so they can find a passion out there that gives them gratification. But just get out there and do it, because it's always something to learn.
All right, y'all. Hope you have a good one. And we will talk to you later. All right. Bye.
That's all for this episode of Tech at Lunch. Thanks for tuning in and joining us for this tech-filled lunch break. We hope you enjoyed the show, and don't forget to subscribe on all channels. And also, you can find us on YouTube under Vulcanar Technology Solutions. And join us for our next episode, which gets published every Wednesday at 8 a.m. All right, y'all. Have a good one. See you later.